Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. Oh, the freeway's so light today. Awesome. Okay, so today, I'm going to talk about apologizing to your children. Which is funny because I don't have any. So I know people are like, not all people, but some people are like, what the hell does he have to say about some children when he doesn't have children of his own? He doesn't understand how it is to have children. And my response to that is, neither do you. Because if you did, your children wouldn't be in the place that they're in right now. Hello. So, the reason why I'm talking about this is because there are people out there who have children, kids, daughters, sons, who are struggling and having a very difficult time in their life. And they can be financially successful and stable, but have all kinds of problems going on. Health problems, emotional problems, mental problems, anxiety, stress, can't handle things. All kinds of things are happening to them. They may be caught up in substances such as drugs or alcohol. They may be riddled with self-doubt, a feeling of unworthiness. And the reason why they're experiencing this is because of you, if you're the parent. You are the cause of this. You are the reason for this. And the reason for you being the way that you are, which caused them to be the way that they are, is because of your parents. And you have to acknowledge this. Like, at some point, you have to acknowledge what you have created, because the children are a reflection of you. And we hear this all the time, you know, my child is a reflection of who I am. And of course you want to claim that when they're doing great things. But you don't want to claim it when your child is struggling. So yes, they may be a lawyer or a doctor or a successful accountant, engineer, whatever. And you can say, oh yes, you know, his mind or his smarts, his brains, or you get it from his mama or you get it from his daddy. And it's so easy for a parent to claim that, but they don't want to let everyone know about the other stuff. You know, how he has a drinking problem, or he has, you know, constant troubles in his relationship or her relationship. You know, all these different things you want to hide, but that is also a reflection of you. And this has to be acknowledged, because if it's not, both parties are going to suffer. One, because of the unloving things that you did to your children, and two, your children experiencing their pain from the unloving things that you did to them. So both of you guys are going to suffer because of the unloving things that have been done. And you may not have believed that what you were doing in the moment was unloving, but it was. And the evidence of that are the things that are going on within your child's life. So, and the reason why this came up is because someone had messaged me on Messenger, and they were talking about one of my videos and all that, and some things that were going on, you know. And I've known for a while, you know, some of the things that their children were going through, but it was generally believed that it was just because of the choices that they've made, the wrong choices, the people, meaning the decisions to do things with their lives, whether it was hanging out with the wrong crowd, or not being good in school, or not wanting to have anything to do with school, or not doing anything positive with their life, not being able to support themselves. All these different things they see as their own choice. But what's often failed to be seen is that the emotions and the things that they put within their soul as a parent is the reason why they were faced with these decisions in the first place. Why did they have to go and try to get approval from someone else? Well, it's because their parents didn't approve of them in some way, shape, or form. And you can say, well, hey, you know, I love my son, or I love my daughter, and I let them know that I love them. You may have said, I love you. You may have said, you know, hey, if you need anything, you know, let me know. You may have said these things. Yes, you may have. But that doesn't change the fact that you live your life. And this is where most of the hurt comes from. Is when you judge other people and you talk about other people, their lifestyle or what they're doing in their life. And the thing is, you have no idea that your child is doing the same thing, feeling the same thing, feeling the same way. You have no idea. And so you're judging them unknowingly. Unknowingly, you're judging them. And so they see your view. They're like, my mom or my dad hates this person for this reason, but this is something that I like and I enjoy. My mom, my dad say these people are wasting their time with their lives, fiddling around with this, that, and the other, and I like doing this, that, and the other, so I must be this too. My mother, my father does not approve of me. They don't like me. And this is what happens. Unknowingly, you're doing it and you don't even know. This is why, it goes back to the videos that I've been making about judgment. Stop your judging. Just stop it, because it affects people in more ways than you can possibly understand. Because you don't know what the next person is going through. You don't know what the next person is experiencing. Why is my screen so dark? Hold on a second. But it doesn't stop recording. Well, it's on automatic. I don't know why my screen's so dark. Look crazy. Look like I'm going to hell or heaven. Big one is either heaven or hell with all this fogginess. Are they clouds of heaven or fog of hell? I don't know. Well, I see the light, so I'm headed in the right direction. Anyway, we don't know what's going on in the lives of others. And the thing is, your children are around more than other people are, so they hear how you truly feel about life and towards people and their beliefs and the things that they enjoy. They hear it more than anybody else because they're your family. They live with you. So as you're having conversations with friends, judging this person for doing this or doing that, you may be saying, that bitch is sleeping around with Esther's husband. Whoever the hell Esther is. And it's like, oh yeah, I heard when she was a little girl, when she was younger, I should say, she was sleeping around. She let the whole football team just do her. And it's like, maybe your daughter is having sex. Maybe your daughter is thinking about having sex. Maybe your daughter already had sex. And now you're talking about having sex without marriage, or not being in a marriage. And now your daughter's feeling like a slut because that's what you're calling the other person. And this is what I'm saying, like, just leave it alone. Leave people alone. And that's what I mean when I say that. Just leave them alone. Let them do them. Focus on your family. You can't say, hey, you can talk to me about anything, but at the same time, you're condemning your child by condemning another person. And if that's not how you truly feel about your child, then you shouldn't feel that way about anybody else. The same understanding that you would have for your child if your child were to ask you, hey, mom, or hey, dad, there's this guy or this girl that I like, and da-da-da-da-da, and I don't know what to do, and they want to have sex, and they're trying to pressure me, and da-da-da-da-da. Well, whatever. If these are the conversations that you want your children to be able to come to you with, then you have to present an environment, or I should say create an environment where that can happen. But if you create an environment where they feel afraid of talking to you because they feel condemned already before the conversation can even happen, you're doing them a disservice. So when they grow up being a nymphomaniac and they letting all the football team go ahead and do whatever they want to do, or they sleeping around or disrespecting themselves in terms of sleeping with all kinds of different girls, because even if a guy does it, it's very disrespectful to himself, because now he gonna get caught up with what? Some child that he really doesn't want, using some girl that he really not into just for sex. And so, when you look at the outcomes of your children, it's like they may have 5, 6, 7 kids, and it's like, well, why do they have 5, 6, 7 kids by 4 or 5 different women? And you're sitting there like, well, where did I go wrong? That's a good question. Where did I go wrong? Because you're the reason why this is happening. You're the reason why your child did not have the foundation of self-love. You're the reason why your child did not have the foundation of self-respect. You are the reason. The foundation is set by the parent, starting with the emotional injuries. But if you don't know this, then the outcome is what you get. The consequence, the negative outcome, I should say, the painful outcome, the outcome of suffering is what you get. Because you didn't know. You were setting a foundation and you did not know what it was being made out of. Why? You didn't know anything about the soul. You didn't know anything about emotional injuries. You didn't understand your own emotional injuries, which transferred to your children. And so how could you possibly understand your children when you don't even know who you are? And so this is why I say it's time to apologize to your children. If you've been listening to my videos, then you understand where things start. You know that your life is messed up because of your parents, but also understand that your kids are messed up because of you. Their lack of understanding is what created you. Your lack of understanding is what created your children, and their lack of understanding is what's going to create their children. So if you take the time to apologize and understand, you can only apologize. I mean, you can apologize, but I'm talking about a real one where you actually feel and you mean it from your soul, from your core, from who you truly are. That can only happen if you understand why you're apologizing. I'm not talking about the kind of apologizing that you're forced to do as a child. Now, we're all familiar with that one. You hit little Johnny in the face, whether you did it on purpose or not, and you're like, why do I have to apologize? I didn't do it on purpose, or I didn't do it at all, but you're forced to do it anyway. I'm not talking about those kind. We do those every day. I'm sorry, and it means shit. So don't give your child shit, give them something real. But in order to give them something real, you have to be honest with yourself so that you can be honest with them. Why are you apologizing? Acknowledgement of what you've done. Acknowledgement of your part. As a parent, you're not apologizing for their choices. Their choices are their own. Their choices are part of their free will, which the Creator has given to all of His children. We are not responsible for the actions. We're just responsible for the things that present them with these experiences where they have to choose and make an action. Why are they faced with this to have to choose? Why do they have to choose, going to their friend instead of their parent for assistance, for help? That's what I'm talking about. Why doesn't your child feel like they can go to you as a parent and express themselves? Well, I can tell you it's for the same reason why you felt you couldn't go to your parent and express yourself. And maybe that's something you don't understand just yet. But it's something that you probably should. Because it's going to help you and it's going to help your child to understand what both of you have gone through. If you can understand what you have gone through and what your parents have put you through, then you can understand what your child has gone through and what you have put them through. And now a bond can be created. Now things can be released. And that's how it works. Heal your child by healing yourself. Acknowledging what has happened to you. Acknowledging what has happened to your child. Acknowledge it. Feel it. Understand it. Own it. Don't deny it. Because as long as you keep denying your pain, you're denying your children's pain. Which is why they are where they are in this moment. Which is why they're so disconnected and separated. Because you're disconnected and separated. You have to be honest. You really have to own who you are and what has happened to you. You know, a celestial being celestial being who is now a celestial being, who wasn't before, had their own issues, had their own set of issues from their parents. It's just part of the process. you can clean yourself up and become brighter and better. That's a possibility for every soul on the planet. It's inevitable for every soul on the planet. How long it takes to get there? Well, like I said before, that's up to you. That's up to all of us. How much we progress, how much love we have, how much we can own of our life. Can we own it all? Because if you can own it all, then you can get rid of it. If you acknowledge it, if you understand it. You know, every single celestial being, the only reason why they can truly help you is because they understand. And in order to understand, they had to acknowledge and understand themselves. Which is why they're able, don't do it. Which is why they're able to relate to you so easily. Every single guardian, every single guide that we have, they have, the reason why they're chosen for you is because they had similar emotional injuries within themselves. In some way, shape, or form, the Creator decides which angel, which celestial being is going to be your guide and your guardian. And the only reason why that process, or the reason why you get who you get, is because of who you are. They understand. Because they understand who they are. Everything that has happened to them, they understand it. To the point where they've released it, and they are no longer plagued by it, but they still understand it. They understand the pain. They understand your desire. They understand the influences from outside forces, whether they're on this planet or in the spirit world. They understand it. And so you need to understand who you are so that you can help others. Mainly, the people I'm talking about are your children, who are really your brothers and sisters. But so is a celestial being. So is the guide and the guardian, your brother, your sister. Just from long ago. They were just born long ago before you. That's all. They're just older. Older brothers and sisters who understand. That's it. So, and this is interesting because I was at, what was I? Oh, I didn't make my normal, I haven't made a salad all week. I've been eating out. I went to El Pollo Loco and I was in the drive. I was pulling up into the drive-thru. There were 3 cars in front of me, and I saw this lady on these crutches, and she was trying to get the attention of the car in front of me, but the other car moved up, and so they moved up, and so I was the next one to be in her path. So she said, hey, wait, no. And what she was saying is, no, I'm not asking for any money. She goes, I'm not asking for any money, but can you buy me something to eat? And as she was hopping along on her crutches, and she looked clean, she didn't look dirty or anything like that. And she had a phone. Probably an Obama phone, but she had a phone. And she said, can you buy me something to eat? And but that's what I was going to say. Before she even asked me that, I already had it in my mind to tell her, I don't have any money to give, because I don't give homeless people money anymore. And so I was already ready to say what I was going to say, and then she sprung that on me, which is, I'm not asking for the money, but can you just buy me something to eat? And without question, I said, sure, I can do that. And she said, I want a number 5 classic chicken burrito combo. I said, okay. I don't even buy a combo, but okay. I said, she knows what she wants. I thought that was so funny. She knew what she wanted. She's like, look, I want number 5 classic burrito combo. I said, okay. I just went in for a little salad because I didn't bring mine. And then her phone rang. And she said, she was like talking on the phone, and she said, she goes, right now, she goes, but this man about to buy me something to eat right now. And she was getting like a little agitated. And because I was indeed about to buy her something to eat. A number 5 combo meal. And she said, but this man about to buy me something to eat right now. Come to El Pollo Loco. I'm at El Pollo Loco. And however the conversation went, she looked, after she was on the phone, she said, that's all right. Thank you anyway. That's all right. Thank you anyway. Ask and you shall receive. She was about to receive something that she asked for. Ask and you shall receive. She asked. And without hesitation, I said, okay. Without hesitation. That's how easy she was manifesting in that moment. That's how easy she was manifesting in that moment. And it was coming. And she allowed someone else to take her away from that which she asked for. And that was interesting. It was interesting. And then she went along, talking on her phone, hopping away on her crutches. And if you guys don't know, some of you probably do, but anytime you need some type of device to assist you in holding you up, like crutches or wheelchair, it's an indication, not an indication, it is a message to you that you're not able to support yourself. And she's not able to support herself. And the reason why she's not able to support herself is because she keeps disallowing herself from supporting herself. Like she just manifested a meal and then she rejected it. Do you see that car right there? Like the door's all jacked up and the light wasn't even green and they're just inching out. It's like, no wonder your door is messed up. See? Another person not getting their message. Not getting their message. Anyway, that's what I noticed. I noticed that she was disallowing herself from supporting herself. Like she had the power to manifest a free meal. Just like that. Ask and you shall receive. And she was about to. And she threw it away. She completely threw it away. For what? Someone else. She put someone else's need over her own. She put someone else in front of herself. She did that. She put more value in someone else than putting the value in herself, knowing her value, to know and understand, I'm hungry, I'm going to eat. I will meet you when I meet you. She couldn't do this because she's so dependent upon other people supporting her. She's not allowing herself to support herself. She's allowing others. I don't know if I should mess with you. Oh, no wonder. Whew. No wonder. Oh, that man is not going to be happy when he dies. That's all I know. If you were able to see what I saw, he is not going to be happy when he dies. He's a miserable, angry man, and that wife of his in the car is just as miserable. He is you can just see it. You can see it. Oh my gosh. Anyway, so she's disallowing herself from being able to support herself, because she's putting other people before herself. And the thing is, when I say apologize to your children, what I'm not saying is, I should say, what I'm not saying is this. I'm not saying to apologize and feel you have to do any and everything for your child. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, acknowledge what you've done to your child. Acknowledge what you have given your child to deal with. Because your problems are their problems. Your insecurities are their insecurities. Their lack of love of self is your lack of love of self. Your anger is their anger. your pain is their pain. All of it. It's theirs. Whatever you held up until the point you conceived and had your child, they have. And then on top of that, they had to endure the manifestation of your pain, which is their experience. Their physical experience is your pain manifested. So for all of you parents who push your children to do this sport and do that sport and take this and take that, do this in school, do that in school, for you parents who have chosen their majors for them because of what you wanted to see for them, understand the resistance that you got was actually them telling you, this is not what I want for myself. So your inadequacy that you have experienced in your teens and early adulthood were being pressed upon them. You were trying to make them adequate because you felt inadequate. You didn't have the freedom to give. You didn't have the freedom for yourself, so you couldn't give them the freedom. The freedom to choose what they want, be who they want to be. See, you were prevented from knowing who you are and being who you want to be, or you wanted to be, because they had other plans for you. And this is what I'm talking about. This is the apology that needs to happen. See what you have done to your children. What you have given them, which caused them their life experience. So all the choices that they were faced with, the choices that they were faced with is because of you. The choice that they made was because of them. Their free will allowed them to choose any path, to make any choice that they wanted to make. But the circumstances and the events, the choices that were presented in their life is because of you. Your soul is what is creating their experience. Because the contents within your soul are now in their soul. And now their soul is interacting with the law of attraction. You see, the relationships that they have, the friendships that they make, the types of people that come into their life, let's just say this to make it easy. All of the people who have come into their life as potential friends, no matter how jacked up they are, is because of you. Their soul says, you can be friends with this person. And you can be friends with this person, meaning you can be friends with this thief. You can be friends with this liar. You can be friends with this user. You can be friends with this person. You can be friends with that person. You can be friends with all these people, because these are the people you can be friends with. That choice that was presented to them is because of you. Their soul is attracting this. It's dictating. It's mandating that these are the types of people that you can be friends with. You don't want to be friends with that one? Fine. Be friends with this one. Different face, same person. Different face, same person. Different face, people. Different face, same person. Same soul condition. The same liar. The same user. The same manipulator. Same. It's the same soul condition you have to interact with based on your soul condition that has been created by your parents. That's what's going on with them. And this is why I say you need to apologize for that. Because as you apologize, as you acknowledge their being, as you acknowledge their being because of what I've just explained to you, you're able to acknowledge your own. You're able to see your pain because you're able to see their pain. See, understanding goes both ways. Understanding goes both ways. Understand them, you understand you. Understand you, you understand them. That's the power of understanding. That's why it's so important to understand. understand. You know what's interesting? Never mind, I won't bring that up. That's a totally different thing. But yeah, this is why, you know, I'm suggesting that you apologize for what you've given your what you've given your child or children, and meaning what you've given them before they were even born, and the manifestation of what you've given them. And I've said this before in a video probably long ago. How you treat your child is just a physical manifestation of what you've given your child. Why? The reason why it's so easy for you to mistreat and abuse your child is because your soul is, I should say, the state of your soul is in a certain is a certain place. There's a certain energetic configuration that allows for abuse and harm to take place, because there's pain within your soul. And when there's pain denied, abuse and harm has to happen. It has to happen. And who's the best candidate to get all of your bullshit in your soul? Well, the one that is an identical match to your soul. And that is your child. Like attracts like. Like attracts like. You understand? Why do you think your parents did what they did to you? Because you were an exact match to their soul. They have pain. You have pain. They experience pain. You experience pain. This is how it happens from generation to generation. You know, when people say, it's passed on from generation or it's generational trauma, sometimes they don't fully understand how that is. They may know why it is, but they don't fully understand why and how it is. They don't fully understand it, which is why they keep coming up with this 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 nonsense. Close your eyes and think of a beautiful meadow. Calm yourself so you can be in that place. Sure. So, you're calm. You're meditating. You're doing those things. You're at yoga class and you're breathing in deeply. You're feeling your body. Right? You're doing all these things. And then on the way home, you get T-boned. And this is what I'm talking about. You can do all these tricks. All these mind tricks. And they really are mind tricks. Because you're using your mind to do it. So you can do all these mind tricks all you want. But that's not going to stop your soul from interacting with the universe. And if your soul is saying that an accident needs to happen, it's going to happen. If your soul says you must lose your leg, then you will lose your leg. Despite all the mind tricks that you're learning to do to create a different physical experience. You can do whatever you want to do. Your power is very, very strong. And it can reach far. But it cannot reach any further than the universe. The universe has a much greater reach than your soul. The universe supersedes all of your mind tricks. All of your mind tricks. This is why I'm not into mind tricks. Watching, these videos keep popping. You watch one video on YouTube and damn it, like 20 of them pop up of the same thing. And so these people are, manifesting. How to manifest money in 24 hours. How to manifest a text message. How to manifest $1 million. Just visualize. And yes, you can do these things. You can have all the money that you desire. But that's not going to stop your cancer. That's not going to stop your kidneys from failing. That's not going to stop your heart from failing. And now you have to use all that money for a heart on the black market. You see, you just cannot outrun the universe. You can't outsmart it. You can do, and this is a lesson. It's just a lesson to learn. What is a lesson in that? Knowing that you can outrun your soul. What is the lesson in that? The lesson is to understand that you have to clean that up. That is the real manifester. That is the one thing that can destroy all of your mind tricks. So if you're using mind tricks to create a better life, and you understand that that can't happen fully, then that the lesson is there to teach you to clean something up so that you can have it constantly and consistently. To have your well-being, to have your abundance, to have your money and the things that you desire and have them stay, to not have them taken away. Look, there are vegans, there are bodybuilders who do everything right physically, but that will not stop the accident from happening and them losing their legs. That will not stop them from having the accident that doesn't allow them to go parachuting like they once did. I'm telling you, people. I'm telling you. I am telling you. You don't have to listen, but I'm definitely telling you. And you know it. You understand it. I know you understand it. I know you're understanding it because God didn't make any fools. It's just a choice to believe something or not believe something. Oh, we understand. We just choose to ignore the things that we learn. We choose to decide to not want to bring that information into the fold, into our lives. We want to keep it separate from ourselves. And as much as you want to say, I didn't know that, oh, trust me, at some point you can remember back in the day when your elders would say this and that and the other, and you just looked at them like, what are you talking about? Whatever. You heard it. You heard it. But hey, you had a choice. And this choice was made because of your upbringing, because of the things that were in your soul. We only ignore things when we don't want to acknowledge the truth. That's the time we ignore things. So anytime you say, no, it's not, that's not true, 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 it's because there's something you want to ignore. You don't want anything, there's a certain belief that you have, and you don't want to do anything to disturb that. So you say, no, it's not, that's not true, no, it's not, that's not true. No, it's not, that's not true. And that, in itself, is an indicator, a sign, that you should be paying attention to what's going on. Not so much what they're saying, but the fact that you're saying, that's not true, that's not true, no, it's not, that's not true, no, it's not, that's not true. Any denial whatsoever is something you should look into. Any denial whatsoever is something you should look into. So, if you're saying, I didn't do anything to my kids, well, that's something you should look into. If you're saying, well, I didn't know, that's something you should look into. If you're saying it's not my fault because I didn't know when I was younger, that's something you should look into. Because it's really not of any importance that you didn't know. What I'm saying is that if you know now you can apologize for the things that you did not know. Meaning the things that you did because you did not know. That's what's important. It's not about holding on to your ignorance. It's about letting go of your ignorance and acknowledging the knowledge that you have. Use the knowing that you have to improve your life and their life. Saying, I don't know, no it's not. I don't know, no it's not. That's not true. All of those things, that's just holding on to your ignorance. And as you hold on to ignorance, pain remains. This is why it's so important to acknowledge the truth. And say, wow, I did not know back then. And because I didn't know, I did do this to my child. And now I understand why my child isolates. Now I understand why my child does not talk to me. Now I understand why my child does not listen to me. It's because I wasn't listening. And now I understand why my child is never around, because I was never around. Really? You can be around physically and not be around emotionally. That happens all the time. I was not close to my mother, but my mother was there all the time. She was there, but she wasn't there. She was too preoccupied with her pain. That's not a justification, because I still felt the pain from it. But I understand it. And that understanding allows me to not hate her. That understanding allows me to not be angry with her. But that doesn't mean that I don't have to release the pain from my experience. It's just acknowledging. And the thing is, me acknowledging or me understanding her pain helps me. Because as I understand, I don't have anger towards her. I don't have resentment towards her. And that helps me, because anger and resentment isn't swirling around me. Now, I'm not saying to hold on to guilt, to blame yourself. I'm not saying that. And some of you will, the first thing you'll do is go to that. And I can tell you, if you're doing that, you don't understand. Because you're still making it about you. Why did I? Why did I? You hear I in there? How could I? I wasn't. It's all about you still. And so you don't understand. Which is why your child is having the problems that they're having. Because you just don't understand. You didn't understand then, and you don't understand now if you're with the I bullshit. And that means you can't heal. Your child can't heal, and you can't heal. Because as shame and guilt are present, understanding isn't. And the only way you can free yourself is if you have understanding. So before you can apologize, you have to understand. Otherwise, it's just going to be that empty bullshit sorry that you were forced to do as a kid. Just say sorry, make up, and go play. That's the first false teaching that you were really given. One of the first. There's other ones before that, but that's one of the first that you were taught. To just say sorry, whether you meant it or not. To not have your soul involved. To not have feelings involved. Just say the words. Just say the words. Yep, that's how we were taught. Just say sorry. I hated it. I hated it. God, I hated it. God, I used to hate when my mom said, say you're sorry, and I didn't mean it. I had so much anger. I had anger towards her. Towards her. And she wasn't even the one that did whatever my friend or family member did. I was angry at her because she was forcing me to do something I did not want to do. And parents, you do this all the time. This is what I'm talking about. It's these little things that cause your children not to be around you, not to trust you. Because you're not honoring how they truly feel. If they feel hurt, let them feel hurt. You want to make them be friends with the little boys and girls that are in the neighborhood, and that's not what it's all about. If something was done to your child and now your child is angry, you don't force them to apologize if they did something bad back to the other person. You don't do that. You don't force them to do that. You can implement a punishment. You can implement a punishment so that they understand, but to force someone to apologize, that's a huge disservice. That's a huge disservice. What you want to do is implement a punishment so that they understand that freedoms are taken away when you do unloving things. Freedoms are taken away when you do unloving things. And pain is had when you harm someone. The same pain that was had when that little boy or girl did something to your child is the same pain that they inflicted upon them when they did what they did to them. in retaliation. This is what needs to be taught. Allow the child to apologize because now they understand what they did. Allow them. This is what I'm saying. It's like most people didn't know this, and they were just taught to. Hold on a second. Okay, I'm back. So, people, they didn't know this. They just raise their children how their parents raised them. And you hear it all the time. Well, my mom and dad didn't let me run out and go do this, and so you can't either. And sometimes it's like, and when you do that, what does that mean? Well, it means the same thing that it meant to your parents. They didn't trust you. They did not trust you. That's what it meant. And so you don't trust your child. You don't trust your child. And the reason why you don't is because your parents didn't trust you. And it's painful and hurtful when you don't trust your child. When your parents don't trust you. It's a painful thing. It's like, gosh, my mom and dad don't trust me. But then you have to ask yourself, why don't you? Why don't you? If they're a reflection of who you are, why don't you? Because you know who you are. You know an aspect of who you are. You're afraid that they're going to do the things that you did. Because you don't trust them. Here, the thing is, like, my mother let me do whatever I wanted to do. Just whatever I wanted to do. I didn't really have any... I didn't have a curfew. I didn't have any of those things. But because I wasn't restricted, I had no desire to do things that were crazy. I've gone to birthday parties and different parties where people were just drinking and doing drugs, and I never did. I just never did. It just because I had the freedom to do it. And because I had the freedom to do it, I had no desire to do it. We want to do the things that we're restricted from doing. When someone says, I was watching this video and he said, if I say don't think about the pink elephant, or the purple elephant, then you're going to think about the purple elephant. And it's true. So don't think about the purple elephant. And in your mind, you see a purple elephant. And when people say don't do something, we want to do it. We want to do it. And this is what happens when there's so much restriction. There's just too much. And it's like, oh, I want to do it. They're saying don't do it. Why? I want to do it. I remember there was, I went to this one, how old was I? 19 maybe. All I know is it was 1997. 1997. And I had gone to someone's party because it was a birthday or something. Someone's birthday party. I don't know what was going on, but there was a party. And there was this lady that lived with us. And I think she and my mother worked at the same casino together. And so her and her daughter were living with us. So I think we had like a 3-bedroom. So they had their own room and then we had ours. And and so her daughter and I went to this party. And I go into the kitchen and she's like doing cocaine. And I'm like, wow. And I had no desire, like, none. They're like, hey, you want some? I'm like, nope, I'm good. There's just no desire to do it. And I had complete, I had complete freedom to do whatever it is that I wanted. But it's because my mother trusted me. Trusted. Not, oh, well, I'm reluctant to let you go out. Okay, fine. All right. I know I've kept you in the house all this time and I haven't trusted you all these years, but I'm going to let you do it. And that's when the shit happens. That's because a lack of trust was established from the beginning. Really. That in conjunction with what's within your soul. The things that are within your soul are within your child's soul. And so the same desires that you have, the same desire your child has. But if you weren't given the freedom and your parents weren't given the freedom, what's going to happen is you're not going to give your child the freedom. You're not going to trust them. And then there's the flip side of that, where there's complete freedom, but the parent isn't present. That's how much, I mean, I'm not talking about that kind of freedom where your parent isn't present, like they don't give a damn what you do, because there are parents like that who have so much freedom, but it's really not freedom. They just don't give a shit about their child. They don't care where they are. Like my mother not worried, but cared about where I was. She wanted to know where I was. She's like, you have freedom, but I just need to know where you are. And that was a sense of care. That was a sense of love. I want to know where you are. I want to know that you're all right. You can go wherever you want to go, but I just need to know where you are, just in case. Just in case. You never know. So I had that, but there are some parents out there who just let their children go all over the place. They don't know where they are, what they're doing, and that's because there's a lack of love there. There's a difference. There's a huge difference. Anyway, let me stop this video and go in this office. So anyway, have a wonderful Friday. I hope you guys have a great weekend, and I will talk to you guys later. All right, bye now.